This is the EVP Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the EVP Podcast. I'm Beaker.
And I'm Ghosty.
And I'm the famous DVO.
Famous?
Yeah.
When did this happen?
Because you guys all know me, right?
See? Oh, yeah.
Everybody listening does.
Yeah, see?
Are we
We're
famous?
all famous.
We're famous?
Very.
Nice.
The famous EVP Podcast.
We're back.
World-renowned EVP Podcast.
Yeah.
Known worldwide.
Yeah, we have listeners in Canada.
See? That's part of the world.
Internationally known.
Yep.
In North America.
Uh-huh. I'd have to look up the analytics. I think they're fake, but the majority of the listeners are in Canada. They like us.
Excellent.
Not really. Yeah, so we are here to talk to you about ghosts. That's what we do.
It's our thing.
We did it last week.
We'll do it again
this week.
And it's October.
It is October.
Hey, real quick, have you guys seen the new Monsters movie?
I'm watching.
No.
Trying to. I'm going to finish it.
It's out already?
Yeah, it came out last a couple days ago, actually.
On Prime? Is that on Prime?
It is on, actually, Netflix.
Oh, Netflix.
Written, I don't know if it was written, but it was directed by
Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. I like his movies that I've seen. I haven't seen all of them.
And if you watch his movies, you might notice some
Boobs.
cast members
You
that
might
look...
see some boobs.
Yeah, you might recognize
not
some
in
of
the
the cast
Monsters,
members.
though.
Oh.
You will recognize some of the cast members. You won't see Sid Haig because he passed away, unfortunately. But if you don't know who that is, if you've ever seen House of a Thousand Corpses, he was Captain Spaulding, one of my favorite characters in that.
Yeah, he was scary.
Yeah, he was a pretty cool guy. Unfortunately, he passed several years back. But yeah, he does cast a lot of people. Sherry's Moon Zombie, his wife, plays Lily, and then there's a bunch of other people that he uses.
But you can see her boobs in plenty of movies.
Yeah.
Right, that's true.
Probably. She's the Living Dead girl from the music video back in the 90s.
Yep.
She's been around.
Yeah.
And she just turned 52. They put it on Facebook. That's how I know. I follow Rob Zombie on Facebook. But so
And he's
have
a
you
big fan of the podcast, by the way. Thanks, Rob, for
have you watched
subscribing to the
any of
podcast.
it at all? Are you watching it?
No, I was going to watch it yesterday. We finished the show a little later than we thought, so we didn't get to it. But I want to watch it this week, and I will watch it this week.
Okay, so I'm a little bit into it. I have this bad habit of starting movies at like 3 o'clock in the morning when I'm tired as hell, so I fall asleep in them. So that's nothing against the movie. It's just poor timing on my part on when I decide to finally watch movies after I'm done playing video games. From what I've seen so far, I personally am enjoying this. I've heard a lot of flack from it online, and I can see why.
Okay.
Me being a fan of Rob Zombie, I'm already going in with that, like, I'm going to like it because it's Rob Zombie. It is a PG movie, so you can watch it with your kids. I have noticed some, like, innuendos in there that kids really won't catch.
Okay.
But the feel and vibe I get from this movie, and I intend finishing watching it probably today or tomorrow, it's so cheesy. It reminds me of, like, a goofy Saturday morning, like, cartoon.
Really?
Which it
It's like
was.
that?
It was a goofy show. I mean, it was
Well,
a goofy,
yeah.
It was a goofy
But I was
show.
thinking Rob Zombie would make it a little more dark.
I know he was actually trying to go for the original.
He was
feel
trying to
of
go for the
show.
goofiness.
That's kind of what I kind of noticed it right away.
And what I think is fascinating is he actually wanted to film it in black and white, like the original series, and the studio said no. So he went over the top with the colors. He went in the complete opposite
I did
direction.
notice that the thumbnail was very bright, like Frankenstein green.
Yeah, he did that shit on purpose.
Okay.
He's like, you won't let me do it in black and white, so this is what you're getting instead. And he went over the top on the colors. And for me, it kind of works. Like, for most people, it's going to be like, oh, this is too much. But so far, I'm actually enjoying it.
Okay.
And I'm probably one of the few people that is. Because I've seen a lot of hate on it on Facebook already.
All right.
I am liking it so far. I'm actually
Good to know.
I think it's got that, like, kind of the vibe. You ever watch Mystery Science Theater 3000?
I never saw it.
Any of those? It was a series. You never saw it?
I do know what it is.
I remember they
I
would just sit there and watch. They would commentate, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So they did science fiction movies and they would sit there and make fun of them. Mm-hmm. I kind of feel like this is like what they were going for when they made this movie. Is like they totally. It's like one of those movies you can sit down and just kind of make fun of and have fun with. Like it's just a fun movie so far.
Think of Beavis and Butthead for music videos.
Yeah, kind of. Exactly. Like that. Yeah. It's just it's so goofy, so over the top.
Okay.
I'm actually enjoying the cheesiness of this movie because I knew what it was going into it. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the Munsters. Never really watched the original series.
I love the Munsters.
I remember some movie from the 90s and kind of how cheesy that was. But yeah, I didn't really go in with any expectations so far, and I'm actually enjoying just the cheesiness of this movie.
I loved the Monsters, and I loved Addams Family, so I can't wait for Wendy, that new series, to
Wednesday.
come out. Wednesday to come out on Netflix
Yeah, this is
in
the
like
Peter Pan.
November.
That was when we did Roanoke.
Yeah, right.
Do you know what I did start watching?
Hocus Pocus.
It was. Yeah, you probably saw the
Yep.
Facebook post. It was god awful. We made it a half
Really?
hour. 30 minutes in, we shut it off.
Well, I mean, I don't think the first one was that great either, but
I don't either.
I like the first one, but this one is. It's. I mean, like when they resummon the Sanderson witches. I'm going to spoil stuff right here. This is all within-
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert
Thanks,
for the first
Beecher.
30 minutes of the movie. Have you ever seen Arrested Development?
Yes.
So the guy that played Buster,
Yes,
he's
yes.
in it.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's exactly the same damn character in this movie, pretty much.
All of his movies, I think.
From the little bit that he was in that I saw,
doing the same role.
pretty much. I'm like, oh, it's Buster. Like I didn't see him as the mayor that he was supposed to be. I was like, yeah, that's Buster. But when they resurrect the Sanderson sisters, they start.
Oh, they're back. Oh,
They start singing "The Witch is Back." It's like a parody of Elton John's "The Bitch is Back." They literally they are resummoned and instantly bust out into this song.
Oh God!
And then the girls are like, "Who are they singing to?" And then Sarah's like, Sarah Jessica Parker. I don't know what's her name in the damn movie.
I don't know.
The hot blonde one. Anyways, she's like, "We're singing to you," and then the song's over. And I was just like, "Oh my!" The cheese, it's not good cheese like the Munsters. It's bad cheese.
Okay.
Also,
Really corny.
I don't want to get political, but the wokeness of Disney is really showing in this one.
Okay, good to know.
That's
All
not what.
witches
That's not
matter,
what,
okay?
But that is
All
not.
witches
That is
matter.
not what I didn't like about the movie. It's just out there. It's all this so far. Some of the jokes I've seen, it's the same jokes from the original, the first movie back from '93. It's the same jokes, just set in our time. So it's like they didn't even come up with a new storyline. It's
They
just-
weren't stuck in time, like they were not back in the '90s.
So they go to a Walgreens, right?
and then they're hip to the game now.
No, they go to the Walgreens. These two girls have convinced the Sanderson sisters that they're witches too, and that instead of eating children, they have new potions that you can buy at the Walgreens. Basically, you know how they have the beauty products that says age reducing or whatever. So they convince them to go and eat that stuff at the Walgreens. So when they get to Walgreens, the automatic doors open, and they're like, "She's so powerful, the gates open for her."
Like that wasn't a thing already in the '90s.
Right.
Which, please?
So it's like they're rehashing old jokes from the '90s, just set in today's time.
Interesting.
I honestly, half hour of it, turned it off, couldn't stand it. But that's just my point of view. Like, I'm sure there's people out there that are going to love it to death, and you're totally wrong for doing that. But okay. No, it's
There's people that are gonna like it, and you're wrong. but
But all witches matter.
so. I mean, if you're looking for a good Halloween movie, though, this is totally not our topic for this week, anyways. But if you're looking good for a good Halloween type movie, what would you guys recommend, or what are you looking forward to?
I know like I said, it's gonna come out after, but Wednesday, I'm excited for that series. But I know it comes out
one
after.
Halloween movie that I like, I don't know why I like this one so much, but was Monster House.
Monster House.
Yeah.
The animated?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't care for that one.
You didn't like that?
No, but
Oh,
if we talk about movies I like to watch for Halloween, I like. I just spaced it. Kick 'em in the nards. Wolfman don't have nards.
Oh, the Monster Squad.
Monster
Monster
Squad.
Squad.
That's my go-to Halloween movie. I like to watch
That's a
every
good
year.
one.
Monster Squad. Oh, that's my favorite.
For me, it's Nightmare Before Christmas. I've already started listening to the soundtrack.
Oh, nice.
So
I like that one around Thanksgiving.
You know, it's a perfect in-betweener.
It's a perfect Thanksgiving movie.
I think a lot of people have been saying that lately. I was actually in a group text where people are arguing, is it Halloween, Christmas? A couple of people did say that. It's a great Thanksgiving movie.
Well, right at the end of October, I do like to watch Nightmare Before Christmas because then it gets me in the mood for Halloween. Then the transition towards Christmas. It kind of gets me in that transition mode.
Halloween Kills, though, or Halloween Ends, is the new one coming out this month.
Halloween Blows.
Halloween
coming
Blows.
out.
Halloween ends and Christmas never dies.
I'm just excited that they're gonna stop making Halloween movies because they really should have stopped doing that a long time ago.
Yeah.
I watched.
Oh, the Halloween series. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So they
but it's
came
called
out-
Halloween Ends. Is that what
It's
you're
called
saying?
Halloween Ends.
Okay.
It comes out at the end of this month.
And this is for sure the last movie till 10 years from now.
swear to God, I hope so.
For the next 10 years.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Because they came out with Halloween, which is a sequel to Halloween, which, that's great there, and as it is. And I actually didn't mind that one. That one was okay. Halloween Kills came out last year.
I didn't even bother.
Don't.
I won't.
Don't.
I won't.
I'm going to watch Halloween Ends because I'm just it's my favorite.
So you can tell us not to go to that one.
So I can
either.
tell you not to watch
This
that
is the fifth time that they say this is Michael Myers' final movie.
There's like, okay, so there's
in
like...
a world where Michael Myers finally dies.
I could do a whole
But never
episode.
dies.
I could do a whole episode on the timeline of Halloween movies, and I'm not going
Let's
to.
never
There's
do.
like
We
six,
almost did one time.
there's like 6 different timelines. But I'm gonna watch it because Halloween has always been my favorite slasher series. So, but it's probably gonna be really bad. Anyway, that we're not talking about haunted movies and stuff like that.
It's about haunted places.
Haunted places.
Like?
Like this one in St. Francisville, Louisiana. That is the Myrtle Plantation.
Still open today.
Still
in
open today.
operation.
Bed and breakfast.
It is a haunted bed and breakfast. You can go and spend the night there and get touched by ghosts.
Yep. They have tours year round happening, and you can go there and book a tour.
Yes.
A
And a
spooky
room.
tour.
Spooky tour. And spend the night.
Or a history tour if you're in history. You can go book a history tour.
Speaking of history, here's some of the history that they have on their website because
Yes.
I don't want to look too much into it. Not really. So, Whiskey Dave, some dude that he founded this place in 1796 when General David Bradford, well, he was David Bradford, but he was known as Whiskey Dave, of the Whiskey Rebellion. He fled the United States to avoid arrest and imprisonment. He arrived at the Bayou Sara, then a Spanish colony, and obtained a land grant of 650 acres from Baron de Carondelet. I probably said that wrong.
I wouldn't know.
So he got the 650 acres to begin a new life.
Where's the word at?
It's right there. C-O-R.
Oh, yeah, that is a weird. Carondelet?
Carondelet. Baron Coronavirus. Carondelet. It's probably wrong.
I think it's right.
It could be right. Anyways, so he started this life on this 650 acres. In 1820, he sold the plantation to his son-in-law, Judge Clark Woodruff, who remodeled the mansion. 14 years later, the house was sold to Mr. Ruffin Sterling, who completed the mansion into what you see now. So it's been, let's say, in 1820 he sold it, so 1834 he finished building. The guy that owned it then, Ruffin Sterling, finished it, and it still sits the way it is today. It's 120 foot. It's got a 125 foot long veranda. It's known for its ornamental ironwork. The entrance foyer contains some of the finest examples of fox. I can't read. Holy hell.
No, who cares? No one cares about all that.
No one cares.
No one cares about the
This
details
shit,
of the
okay, so
plantation.
this plantation built 200 years ago.
It had a
Right.
cement foundation built upon swampy blue grass.
Now that we got the boring shit out of the way, this place is 200 years old. It actually started in the 1700s, so it's a couple hundred years old.
Okay. So you know it's haunted.
It's haunted
It reached that 100-year mark, so it's haunted
Yes.
for sure.
in the U.S. It has to be 500 years in other countries.
Right.
Those are the rules. We didn't make them up just now. Yeah, so, I mean, it's been this plantation for hundreds of years. There's actually rumors that, like, during the Civil War, the Union invaded and kind of took over. There was actually there's supposedly, like, 10 deaths that have happened here at the plantation, but only one, or 10 murders, actually, but only one is actually confirmed. The claim is that there's 12 ghosts here at the plantation. This has actually been featured on a couple TV shows. Ghost Adventures did an episode there in 2013. Ghost Hunters did an episode in 2005, and even Unsolved Mysteries was there at one point and talked about it.
Unsolved Mysteries was?
Unsolved Mysteries.
What?
According to host Robert Stack, the production crew experienced technical difficulties during the production of the segment.
Well.
Yeah, Unsolved Mysteries was there. So we're going to talk about some of the more famous hauntings because no one wants to listen to the boring history of the place.
I'll talk about the mirror then.
Then we got the haunted mirror.
So they say that this.
It'll suck your soul.
Yeah, twice.
They say it holds the spirits of Sarah and her 2 children who were poisoned, and we'll get into that later. But
So instead, we'll jump around a little bit.
Yeah.
Around.
Instead of
That's
going
how
in
Nope,
order.
we don't do things in order.
right. So they say that the mirror, people see these spirits in the mirror all the time. They see these children, and these children are like mess with people, and they'll see them kind of dart around in the mirror. But then Ghost Adventures that they seem to have proven
Ghost
that
Hunters.
Ghost Hunters. They seem to have proven that there was like some of the metal leaking through into it.
Yeah, these dudes are plumbers. That's what they do by trade when they're not, at the time. I don't know what they do now, but yeah, it's a common thing that you see like metal kind of bleeding through stuff.
Mm-hmm. And this mirror sits in the grand hallway. So it's just outside the dining room. And so a lot of people go past this and look into it all the time. So I don't know how busy the room is in there or how much things are going on, but I mean, you know, especially in the dark, if you go past something real quick or you look past something real quick, you might see something move around, which is it's you that's moving.
And when you might see something out of your peripheral vision or
Right.
something like that where you think you're seeing stuff. It could be pareidolia.
Yes.
I do know, I did show the picture to Brandy. She did say there was residual energy coming off of the mirror, but she doesn't believe it's haunted.
Yeah, they say that there's always a handprint that reappears every time that it's
No matter
resilvered.
how much they clean the mirror.
Yeah, there's always a
handprints
handprint.
reappear.
What do you guys think on that? Do you think?
Just looking at the picture now, I'm not really getting any spooky haunted vibes from it.
I don't see why if it was a spirit trapped in there, I don't see why they would keep touching
I bet you it's
fingerprints on
probably
it.
something from the back side of the mirror,
It just
and
kind
it's kind of darkened. They
It's
probably
probably-
somebody
it's
did something
probably-
to the backside and darkened it, and so when you because the glass that's just glass you're looking through,
Yeah.
and so if they touch the backside, the portion that makes the reflective part and discolored that somehow, that's what you're gonna get.
yeah.
So we'll come back to the mirror in just a second. Let's talk about why these spirits are supposedly in the mirror. And it starts with a slave girl that lived there on the property named Chloe.
So Chloe was a slave. Easier said than done. Say it like that. I don't know when Clark and Sarah Woodruff took ownership. I don't know if you know when they took ownership, but they were the plantation owners, masters, whatever you want to call them. They had slaves. Again, this was down in Louisiana. So they had slaves, and I believe Mr. Woodruff had quite a few mistresses.
It's 1820s when,
1820 when they took over.
yeah, that's when Whiskey Dave sold it to him.
Okay. And so he had quite a few mistresses, and he was a businessman. He had dealings all the time. So rumor had it that one day Chloe was one of his slaves, also one of his mistresses. She was outside of his office or room, wherever he was at, doing some dealings. He was talking with somebody, and she was on, or she had her ear pressed up against the door, kind of listening in. So he opens the door, finds her there, and for her punishment, he cuts off her ear as punishment. And so she, to hide her disfigurement, she wears a green turban on her head, and people will have supposedly said they see a spirit with a turban walking around the plantation. Anyway, so she's disfigured. She's not happy about it. So she wants to take her revenge. I've heard a couple different stories about this. One story is she wants to kill Clark and Sarah and their 2 girls. I believe they had 2 girls.
Yeah.
She wanted to kill them all. The other story goes that she wanted to make them sick and then cure them, heal them, so where they see the value in her, because now she feels a little disvalued because he caught her spying and cut off her ears, so she just kind of feels a little devalued. So story goes, she makes a cake for one of the girls' birthdays, and she puts in there oleander leaves. Apparently, these leaves are poisonous to consume. So she puts this in the cake. Everyone eats the cake except for Clark. He's the only one that does not eat it. So her plan backfires because instead of them getting sick and she heals them, Sarah and the 2 girls pass away from consuming the cake with the oleander leaves. So they pass away. And the other, it finds out it was her. They find out that it was Chloe that did it, and she was hung and threw into the river.
It was the other slaves that actually took revenge on her.
Right, it was the other slave. Yeah, it wasn't.
So yeah, they were the ones that captured her.
You're making it worse for us here. We have it pretty good here.
Yeah, this is gonna hurt all of us.
You're hurting all of us here. And so they hung. That's
They
where we're going.
unionized.
Yeah, so they unionized.
And
Slaves
they got
unionized.
rid of the weak link.
So they hung her, threw her in the river, and that's the end of her story. And apparently she walks around, and they notice because she has a green turban on, or a turban on. That's how they can tell that it was Chloe covering up her ears. However, there is not a lot of history that does claim that there was a slave named Chloe. But again, these are hundreds of years old, so it's a telephone game. You know, history gets lost in the retellings of
There is
things.
no record of a slave named Chloe.
But I
And
don't
they
know
don't
if
even they I don't think they've even confirmed how the
Story came about.
the girls died. The wife. I don't think they ever confirmed the poisoning either.
No, there's been rumors that like one of the kids
Tuberculosis.
grew up and died at some point. So, yeah, I don't know the real history, but that's one of the tales. In fact, there's a famous picture. So there was they had to take pictures of the plantation for insurance purposes. And when they sent the pictures into the insurance company said, "Hey, we told you very clearly they can't be people in the pictures." And they said, "There's no one in the pictures." They look at the pictures and they see some type of figure, some type of shadow. They think they see a head and shoulders. And they go, "Wait a minute, yeah." They took it to National Geographic, this picture. National Geographic looked at it and said, "Yep, this picture has not been tampered or altered with." So automatically they think there's someone in the picture. I don't know if that's true. It could be. I'm not saying it's not. It could be. I've seen some different angles. It does look, it looks a little suspicious, but it also might look like it could just be something in the background, a shadow of some sort. So hard to tell. We'll share that picture in the social media.
They did talk about that picture on Ghost Adventures Aftershocks.
Okay.
So the owner, she was taking it. She was gifted this plantation by her husband in 1992. In 93, she's taking, like you said, insurance pictures. They're trying to get fire insurance and other insurance for the property. And one person suggested it was a shadow, but there was like a couple different angles. And they're saying that if it was a shadow, it would have changed in the different angles that they took the photo in, of like the way the shadow was being projected. I don't know how that would come about, but that's what they were claiming, is because it was two different angles and it was exactly the same in both angles, both pictures, that it most likely wasn't a shadow. But we were looking at it, and like you said, we'll post it on social media. It kind of looks like it's just a bush. Like there's a set of bushes there.
I think it's part of the bush. It doesn't, yeah. But after Chloe's death, there's more death that happened there. There was
death.
Tell
there
us
was a
more.
whole family that just died right afterwards. So after Chloe's death, there was another family, a wealthy man and his family moved in, and shortly after, the five of them, he had 5 children, and him and his wife, they all died of tuberculosis in the house. So there was 7 more deaths right there. And then soon after that, they passed the property on to a Mr. and Mrs. Winter, and they were proud members of the community, and they actually did their part and taught Sunday school. And one time at his home, he was teaching, and some guy rode up on a horse, yelling and demanding to see Mr. Winter. And when he opened the door at his front porch, the guy was standing there and shot him point blank. And he staggered back into his house, went up into where his wife was, and fell into her arms and passed away in her arms. So
On the 17th step.
on the 17th step,
That's important.
because you'll hear footsteps, loud stomps in this house, and they say it's Mr. Winter's footsteps stomping around.
Could be.
They also say there was someone that was shot and killed, and they died right there in the doorway. And like still to this day, they have a hard time like cleaning up the blood spot. Like it just won't go away.
Yes.
Going back to the mirror, the spirits that they believe are in the mirror are the spirits of, what was it, Sarah Woodruff
And their 2 kids.
And
and her 2 kids.
Yep.
The thing is, back in the day, when someone passed away, they would cover all the mirrors,
So they didn't get trapped, right?
so the souls wouldn't get trapped in the mirrors. But apparently, this one
And they
mirror,
pose them for pictures.
right.
This creepiness.
So that's the theory, is like cover the mirrors. Otherwise, when the souls come from the body, they're going to get trapped in the mirrors. Apparently, this one mirror was not covered, and it absorbed the spirits of Sarah and her daughters.
Okay.
So that's who they think is in the mirror.
Makes sense in a way.
100%.
I mean, back then, if that's kind of what you were believing in,
Sure.
and
But you got to keep in mind, that was like, so the Woodruffs got it in 1820. He sold it like 14 years later. So between 1820 and 1834, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Like,
right.
I mean, there was a lot of voodoo that was practiced on this property, and not so much anymore.
Okay.
yeah, they don't allow it.
They won't, not at all. It was brought up several times by a certain investigator on a TV show
With adventures.
with adventures of ghosts, and they all shut him down. They're like, no. Even like the local voodoo practitioner, he's like, no. He's like, there's no point. Because he asked him, like, hey, would you ever do a voodoo ritual to like contact spirits? And he's like, oh, what's the point? He's like, I know they're there.
Okay.
He's like, I get that warm feeling inside my chest and know that they're here. He's like, they know I'm here. So he's like, what's the point of doing a ritual?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But they don't want to disturb anything, so they don't want to do any rituals. And like, they even go on, they talk about like how Hollywood does this. They give things bad raps that don't necessarily need bad raps. Like voodoo. It's a religion, and everyone just associates voodoo with negativity. And that's not necessarily
Voodoo
the case.
dolls.
It's like, yeah, voodoo dolls. So voodoo dolls were actually invented or created to help people and heal them, heal the sick. They weren't tools for torture like you see in the movies. And the guy goes on to say, and it's like, it's with any religion. There's bad people in every religion.
Yes.
Doing bad things. That doesn't make the religion bad. So, he did talk about is there any other spirits?
Not that I know of.
You know, so I did show some videos of Myrtle's Plantation to Brandy. Bing. And she's never heard of this before I started showing their videos. She didn't know Myrtle's Plantation was a thing. She doesn't watch the shows and do research and stuff like we do. She just kind of whatever I tell her about. For most locations. So she never heard of Myrtle's Plantation, doesn't know anything about Chloe, right? Doesn't know about the green turban or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I show her a couple of videos, and she's like, "Yeah, there's a person in a couple of those videos." And I go, "Okay, they're white or black?" And she's like, "It's a black girl." And I go, "What is she wearing?" And she starts describing this green hat, like thing that comes down. I'm like, "Is it like a turban?" And she's like, "Well, I wouldn't say it's like a turban, but she's like, it's on the top of her head and it like covers her ears and comes down behind her back."
It was like a handkerchief or bandana.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not knowing anything about the legend of Chloe or any of the spirits or anything there, that she was actually able to confirm in some of these. And they're just promotional videos showing you, it's on their Instagram page. It's just promotional videos showing you what the plantation looks like in case you're looking to book your vacation there.
Interesting.
That's literally what those videos are that I showed her. And she confirmed in 2 parts of that one video was the same girl, the supposed Chloe.
Interesting.
So that spirit actually is legit there, in my opinion. Now, what happened to her, how she came about, I don't know if those stories are real, but she's definitely there. So the people that say they're seeing her, that I'm 100% sure.
Pretty
that
sure
they've seen her.
there's some truth to that whole story if it's been passed on. There was people there that probably know. They know.
I know. But yeah, she's there.
I'm actually on their website right now. You can book the rooms for these people. Winter's room, the Woodruff room. You can book rooms there, and they've got them to their rooms that they stayed in. I don't know if they named them after them or if they really were in these rooms, but you can book rooms under their name, not under their names, but named after them. There we go.
The past owners.
The tours, the evening tours, they're about 1 hour. They're $20. So if you're down there, you can book one of these evening tours. Now, I don't think it's like an investigation. You do a tour, then maybe it's a hotel. If you're staying there, you can wander around.
From what I see, people will book a room and then investigate the room.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you can book rooms there. So it's pretty.
It's a still running haunted bed and breakfast. It's on my list of places I want to go.
I was looking at the William Winter room in case you hear his footsteps going up into the room. Maybe I was just looking at it's. I just picked a random day this month and it's $200 a night. So
That's not too bad.
yeah, I don't know. Does it come with breakfast?
It comes with breakfast.
It's a bed and breakfast. It better come with
so-
breakfast.
If it's
You know damn well if I go to a haunted bed and breakfast and they don't give me breakfast, my fat ass is complaining to management.
And they have a restaurant there, so
Because they cook.
but you can just go in and dine and like they'll go there for dinner. So looks cool.
So, a couple other things. So there was a fire.
There was a fire.
2014 in the gift shop, which is separated between the main building by like 7 or 8 feet. And so this little breezeway in between the two buildings, that's where they think they have the picture of the Chloe. So the building that caught on fire, if you're looking at the picture, is going to be on the left-hand side. The main house is on the right-hand side, and then Chloe's supposed to be standing in between the two buildings. And in 2014, there was an electrical fire that caused the store to kind of go up in flames. And before all this went down, there was actually one of the tour guides that for like 3 weeks before the fire occurred, he was having all sorts of kind of like premonitions about the fire. It started with like his cat acting weird one day, and then all of a sudden his smoke alarms start going off for no reason. Like there's no fire, smoke, or anything in his house, but his smoke alarms started going off. And then he starts having dreams. Do you remember the dreams?
Yeah, he had a dream of someone yelling at him that there's a fire.
Yeah, so he was in the plantation, a lady in a white dress, telling him, like, you need to leave. You got to get out. You got to get out. There's a fire. And this went on for 3 weeks. He had a hard time sleeping because it was the same dream every night. And then towards, like, 3 days before the fire, it was, like, full on, like, this lady screaming at him to get out of the place because there's a fire. And then the fire happens. It was just a faulty
Didn't he
wire.
say that she started talking more nicely to him? Like, hey, you need to get out. There's going to be a fire.
Yeah, it started off pretty nice. And then
Oh, it started off nice.
Yeah, I think it started off nice, and then it progressively got like more urgent.
Okay.
So as it got closer to the fire, the more like desperate this lady was to get him out. Obviously, the fire department's called. They come in, and they get the fire put out. Somehow, fortunately, it didn't spread over into the main building. This building, again, 200 years old. It made all out of wood, and I think they said it was cedar wood, which is highly flammable, would have gone up really quick. On the other side of the wall was like this 80-gallon like gas tank used for the water heater, and had the fire jumped buildings, it would have blown up and destroyed like everything. So fire department got there in time. They were able to get the fire under control. Fortunately, it didn't spread to the other building. One thing I do have to give props to Zach Baggins for is when they talked about this on his Aftershocks episode, he 100% gave credit to the amazing firefighting team there in St. Francisville. The media, on the other hand, did not. They started spinning the story that it was Chloe and the other spirits there that was able to contain the fire and keep it in just the gift shop. That the spirits protected the other building from getting blown up.
They created a force field with their energy.
Yes.
And they were using their
That's what I'm trying to
their
figure
Care
out
Bear
here.
stair.
Yeah. Care Bear stair stopped the fire.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was one thing I did like, that Zach 100% gave credit to the fire department, as he should have.
Yeah, I'm at their general store. They have a lot of souvenirs there on their website. So if you go there, buy souvenirs.
Yes.
I would check it out. I would definitely check
I
that
should
place
go.
out.
Road trip on an airplane.
Yeah.
Louisiana and get
Louisiana.
a crawfish boil going.
So there's a lot of EVPs that people get there.
Go on.
I did find these EVPs from this one group who these ones actually are really good. These are all pretty.
Do you know what devices they use or?
It's just voice recorders.
Voice recorders.
These are
Okay.
just voice
So if you're like
recorders.
curious, like where can I find a good voice recorder? In the description of the podcast or YouTube video, we'll put a link to our affiliate link for a store. They have a lot of great equipment there, including voice recorders, so you can catch EVPs and spirits.
So here, listen to these. These are pretty good.
So whose are these EVPs that we're
So I
stealing
found
without
these
their
ones.
permission?
They're from a group called the Baltimore Paranormal
Okay.
Investigation.
I just want to
Shout out to them.
give credit to the people that we're stealing EVPs from.
And where'd you from YouTube? Or,
YouTube.
so they have a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
All right, so
So go check them out. Give them a like and a follow. We will.
All right, listen up.
Also, this one's the kids' nursery, right?
You hear
is
that?
that a little whisper?
This one's the kids' nursery, right?
Again, what are they saying?
This one's
The kids' nursery room? What are they talking about?
It's in the cabinet's room. It's in the captain's room.
What are they talking about? The people talking.
It's in the captain's
It's-
room.
It's
something
the
like
captain's room.
that. Yeah.
I heard something. The cat
Doesn't
something.
matter what they're talking about. Just listen to that.
I was curious what the context was.
They don't even say it.
Okay.
So there's no context of what's going on. It's just listen to that whisper. That's it. All right, here's
I don't know where the keys went. So.
Female voice.
Yeah. This is really good.
so that one
It's
they
in the
think it says
cabinet.
let them go.
What? No, I hear something completely different.
Yeah.
They say, where are the keys? And I hear it's in the cabinet. Let them go?
I don't know where the keys went.
That
So.
is definitely not saying let them go.
Yeah, so that's what they
That
heard
one,
I can't hear it. I can't tell what it is.
It's
for
such
me,
a.
it's very clear. It
it's
says
a-
it's in the cabinet.
I think
why-
it's mixing part of her voice and his voice together is what you're kind of hearing.
Okay.
Because when you single out hers, it's you can hear just her talking and him talking
Go
over
right,
it.
right in front of the mic again.
I don't know where the keys went.
So you can kind of hear her dragging out that let them go, but then he's still talking,
I
and
don't
so
hear
you're
anything.
I'm not.
You guys have better ghost ears than me.
The
You hear
only
ghost ears.
the only female voice I hear is saying it's in the cabinet. I don't hear anything.
I don't know where the keys went.
And I don't hear either of what you guys are saying. I can't make it up. I don't hear.
Okay,
what
so
you guys
we're
hear.
going to put this one to the listeners. Tell us what you think it says.
Yes.
I clearly hear it's in the cabinet.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds as plain as day to me that she's saying it's in the cabinet.
I can hear the let them go,
I can't hear that at all.
but then the ghost sounds let them go.
Very interesting.
You don't hear it's in the
I
cabinet?
don't hear either of the two that you're saying, but I also
Wow.
don't hear anything clear from my ghost ears.
Okay, here's the next one.
Is it this one right here?
So it's a really small one,
It's very
and
small.
it says mommy.
It's a very small. It's a Class C EVP in
Yeah.
my opinion. That one's hard to make out.
It
but you
is
can
hard to
hear-
make out, but you can
hear the voice.
real close. You can kind of hear it, and it's I don't know how they were able to pinpoint this. Oh, hold on. Let me drag that back a little bit more. Okay.
Is it this one right here?
So right before he says, "Is it this one right here?" is
Right.
where you hear the.
Very breathy.
All right, I'm gonna start it again.
Is it this one right here?
Now that you
Yeah.
pointed it out that it says "mommy," that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
But before I just heard like a faint voice.
Whisper, very whispery.
Yeah, you just hear the.
You can hear that something's there, but
And that,
I
that's
didn't
why I
hear
said it.
"mommy"
I don't know
until
how
you
they were able to
pointed it out.
pinpoint that. That was
Yeah.
you were doing some deep listening.
Yeah.
All right, here's another one. Something nice.
Noise.
Oh no, they think it's saying either "why sister" or "my sister."
I hear mice.
Like
I can.
I hear like,
before
but like
before you said anything, I heard it to me. It sounded like it said "nice," but when you say that, I can make it sound like it says "my sister." It's kind of like the whole Green Needle brainstorm thing. Like you're gonna,
Needle.
brain needle. You're gonna hear what you're being told to hear.
Green brainstorm.
Green Needle and brainstorm.
Green needle.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking about, right?
yeah.
The little toy.
Yes.
That's what happened there for me. Is like I heard "nice," but then when you said "my sister," that's what I'm hearing because that's what I'm focusing on.
That's why I wanted you to stop and play it a few times.
Too late.
Ghost
Too
is quick
late.
on giving the answer.
Yeah,
Too
sure
late.
am.
Too late.
Okay, hold on. This.
Another one?
No, this not yet. Here we go.
Okay.
Something.
Don't tell us
drop?
what they think. What did you think it said?
Something drop.
Okay, play it one more time. Okay.
TikTok. Get on TikTok.
Hold
Get on TikTok.
Hold on, I'm gonna play it again because there's a couple things I can hear.
Okay. I'm hearing the same thing every time. I'm hearing "get behind me."
All it is saying shotgun.
What?
I don't hear.
I don't hear
either.
shotgun.
There's a voice that goes shotgun, shotgun.
I like.
Right there.
Yeah, I like how I'm like leaning closer to my microphone. So
I close my eyes and tune into the mic, but coming from the headphones.
Lean your forehead on the microphone.
if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see like every time he plays it, I'm like leaning into the microphone.
I gotta close my eyes.
So again, this one is up for debate because we're all hearing different things. I clearly hear "get behind me."
This one is only it's saying shotgun. That's all. That's all this has.
I don't hear that at all.
I hear something
You're
drop.
hearing a lot. Okay. There's like footsteps, and you hear all that background noise and the crickets. And
Maybe I
there's
opened something
there's
up
just a
over the last couple
whispering.
days.
There's just a whisper that says shotgun.
I
I hear ship drop.
to
Like
me,
the drop shipping.
100%, it sounds like "get behind me."
Let's slow down. Shotgun.
It still sounds like "get behind me" to me.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what I'm hearing. Like
Okay.
I'm hearing fallen phrases. You're hearing like shotgun. Like I'm not hearing that.
I don't know what I'm hearing. I don't know if that's even saying shotgun, but it could. It's such a.
All right, listener, this one's up to you
Yeah.
again. What do you think this one is saying?
All right, here's a new one. Here's a new one here.
Ain't no hole anywhere. Ain't no hole anywhere.
Something than a knock.
Yeah,
It's so
the knock.
faint.
the knock is not part of it.
I
but-
know. But it's right before that knock.
Okay. Yeah.
Ain't no hole anywhere.
It's like
So
it starts
whispery.
before the knock and it continues.
There's
like,
a couple
right at
words,
during-
but I only hear the last two words. So that to me, what do you think it says?
I can't make it out.
To me, again, very clear to me, it says "get out."
Okay, let's listen again.
Ain't no hole anywhere.
It's like I said to get out or I told you to get out.
As your
I can hear the get out. Me knowing what they think it says, it kind of forces you to hear that.
brainstorm.
Needle. I'm clearly hearing like I said get out or I told you to get out, but get out is definitely the last two
What
words.
they think it says is talk to you.
Green needle.
Brainstorm.
Listen again.
Ain't no hole anywhere.
Brainstorm.
Ain't no hole anywhere.
Okay. What did they say they thought it was?
Talk to you.
Nah, not even close.
Yeah, I don't hear that either.
I told you to get out or I said to get out.
I can hear that, but I don't hear talk to you. I can hear when you said get out. I listen for that, and I can hear get out.
Yeah, but
I can
before
hear that more. I can hear that more than I can hear talk
to
to
me
you.
it sounds it's the first couple words are kind of I'm not sure on, but to me it clearly sounds get out.
Yeah.
Brainstorm or green needle?
I'm hearing brainstorm.
Now think of green needle.
I don't hear green needle at all. I just hear brainstorm.
That's good. So that's what
hear
we're
them both.
talking about when we say the green needle and brainstorm. When go back and listen to that, or if you haven't seen that before, go back and listen to that. Whatever one you're thinking about. If you're thinking about brainstorm, you can hear brainstorm. If you're thinking about green needle, you can hear green needle.
was
Or if you're
trying
ghosty,
to
you
hear
just hear
green
one.
I didn't hear green needle at all.
It's like the whole blue dress, white dress thing.
Yeah.
But that one, for me, whatever one I'm thinking about is the one I hear. And that's kind of what I feel like with some of these. Like the one we talked about, where like I didn't, once you said what they thought they said, that's what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
But the last two, or this last one specifically, where it says, I hear get out completely, 100%.
Yeah,
It sounds
I
like
hear that
I
more.
told you to get out, or I thought I said to get out, or I told you to get out, whatever she said, I definitely hear get out. And when you said what they thought, like I don't hear that at all. The same with the shotgun. I don't hear shotgun. I hear get behind me. Maybe my ears are broken. I don't know.
Or they're better.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a new one.
So it's crunching. Are they walking around?
That's too static.
That,
And no
one,
one's
that was way
talking?
too staticky. They hear someone say "you're crazy."
I don't know how they
It's
got that.
yeah,
So faint.
It's too faint, too much crackly going on. Here's another one.
Chloe. This is Chloe.
Oh,
you should
that
go.
male voice is the one that loud male voice
Well, loud male voice.
that's in that.
And you should go.
Okay, listen again. That is the EVP. That I thought that was an actual.
So there's
person.
there's a woman talking, and then there's a male EVP.
Yeah.
This is Chloe.
So she says, and this is Chloe. And then I hear, and you should go.
I hear she
Oh, that's
wants
not
to
a
go.
person?
No, that's not a person.
Oh,
Yeah.
So the woman is saying, this is
The
Chloe.
woman is an actual person talking,
says, this is Chloe.
and then
There's a male voice
There's a
comes
male voice that comes through, and that's the EVP.
the male voice. I thought that was a
Of a real
investigator.
person.
Yeah.
I thought that was a person there too.
Well, spirits are real people too. They're just dead.
They were real people.
This is Chloe.
I think you should go, and you should go.
They think he says she comes to you, but I think he says she wants to go.
I hear closer to what DVO's saying. I think you should go.
I'm thinking it says like she
But
wants
that's
to
after
go.
you like said something like.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
I finally heard something. I'm like, I heard something.
Yay! I didn't hear anything until you said something.
This is Chloe.
She wants you to go. And
So
you should
they
go.
think
Yeah, something
2
like that.
months ago.
2 months ago. Yeah.
She was here 2 months ago. You just missed her.
Oh, they slowed it down. Let's hear that last part. Slow down. Okay, right.
I have no idea what that says.
And you should go. She wants you to go. This
should
sounds
go.
very
It's-
similar.
So that's it. That's all they had. But
Not all
those
of
are-
these.
some of them were pretty good. That last one
Those
was
are
pretty
actually,
good.
yeah, those are
Yeah.
really good EVPs.
The first ones, the
static
first
one,
ones
not
and
so
that
much
last
that.
one.
No, so again, who is this?
The Baltimore Paranormal. Oh, I just subscribed. All right.
Let's go to subscribe.
Yeah, Baltimore Paranormal Investigators.
Okay, go check out their YouTube page. This
Oh,
is-
they have they have a bunch of EVPs from other places too.
yeah, go check them out. Give them props. Tell them we said hi.
And then but yeah, that's what we got on the Myrtles. Myrtle Plantation, not the Myrtles.
Myrtle Plantation.
Well, should we call that? What else?
So Ghost Hunters, when they were there, a couple things that happened. One was like Dave Tango, Steve Gonzalez. Steve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Steve Gonzalez. He when he was out in the field, he kept seeing someone like poke behind a tree looking at him, which was kind of cool. They had some other evidence they presented, like they had a static camera on the front door, and you see someone pop up and pop down real quick. And they actually, when they first showed that to Dave,
I remember that
Jason
one.
and Grant, they were both like, "Are you sure that's not one of our people?"
That was. Oh my god, I remember that one from years ago. That
Yeah.
was like one of the
You
first
see
cool
like a little
pieces of
shadow
evidence.
pop up and pop down. They were very skeptical about it at first.
I do remember that, and I didn't watch this episode completely this recently. I was watching other things instead, but I do remember that part. That was one part from all the episodes from past. That's like I do remember.
Yeah, and there's a couple of other things like they see a lamp moving across the table.
That was there too, huh?
Yeah, that was in the slave quarters there. And then Ghost Adventurers. So if you want to see, these are both on Discovery Plus. If you have Discovery Plus, it's season 2, episode 1 for Ghost Hunters. And then all I'm seeing is on the Myrtle's Plantation, it's on their Aftershocks version. It's not the actual episode. But they do talk about, like, they put a ball on stair 17, and they were asking some questions, and then almost like on command, when they asked the ball to move, like you see it just roll down the stairs.
Yep.
So that's some of the cool evidence. Go watch those episodes. They're actually really enjoyable episodes.
But how do they know it's stair 17?
Because that's apparently where the guy died.
I know, but was he laying across only stair 17, or was he across like 7 stairs?
I'm pretty sure he was
No.
laying across a
Like
good-
his head was on stair 17, his heart was on stair 17.
Well, there's some.
His
there's
wound
two
was on
different
17.
versions of the story.
How
Like
big was this stair?
so,
How big is this? Is a platform?
two different versions of the story. One is he just crawled up there and died on. He got to the 17th stair.
Floor? Stair.
Is that where his foot was lying? Is that
I don't
where
know.
his foot ended?
But the other story is that, like you said earlier, where he died in his wife's arms or whatever. She was sitting on stair 17. So I don't know. They
Okay,
decided
okay,
stair
all right,
17
all
is
right.
that would make sense, but they've decided stair 17 is the haunted stair.
Okay.
I would just say the middle section of the stairs.
Right about
Yeah.
here, because I doubt he climbed up there and then just sprawled out and was
He
laying only
counted.
on.
He was counting his
He's
one,
like
2,
17.
3, 4.
He's like, all right, I'm going to lay on just this stair only.
Now this is 2 stories. I'm going up. This is
In
insane.
200 years, they're going to be investigating this stair. I need to die here.
Yeah, right,
If you
right.
think about those stairs, it's pretty high up. He went up.
Yeah, he climbed 17 stairs after getting shot.
Yeah, true.
Amazing. So stair 17, it's haunted.
Okay. That's the one.
But that's some of the evidence they got on those TV shows.
Makes sense.
All right, guys, let's wrap
Oh,
it up. Call this an
Did you,
episode or
did
no?
you get anything happen
No?
at Benson Gristmill?
Okay. No, I didn't investigate.
You didn't investigate?
No.
Oh,
Did you?
yeah.
What did you get?
Oh, got a little bit of like activity on the EMF meter on my mail meter. Some of the people I was with, they actually felt like spirits being following them around. I don't know if he's going to put it on his social media or if he's going to put it on his podcast. Maybe we'll have to have Caden come back on. Caden had a kind of a psychic attack, but for that, I'd like to have him and actually come and tell the story because I'm not going to do it justice. But for me, not other than that, like not a whole lot for me. I did remember at one point, like when Caden had the attack, he came and found me and told me he was leaving. I'm leaving my group that I was with upstairs in the top of the mill, and they're like, "Oh, great, you're leaving us?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am." And I'm like, "You'll be fine. You've got Josh with you." Josh Hansen was there,
Okay.
younger brother of Ben Hansen. We've talked about Ben on some of the other episodes. And he just kind of gives me this weird look, and I'm like, "You'll be okay. Your brother's famous. You know what you're doing." And then I left him. But apparently when I left them, they felt like, well, actually before this happened, I felt like someone was standing behind me, and I yelled down the stairs. I'm like, "Is anyone there?" And no response. And it was probably about 2 minutes later, Caden actually came walking up the stairs. But after I left those guys up there, they said they felt like there was a spirit following them around and making them feel uncomfortable. So, personally, like our group didn't experience a whole lot, but that was one of the things is that we did definitely feel like there was someone following us around on that top floor of the barn,
Very
the mill,
interesting.
top floor of the mill. But yeah, other than that, that's about it. Now we can. I'm done.
Sign off.
adding
You're done?
stuff. I'm done
Okay.
adding stuff.
All right. All right. Should we wrap that up, guys?
Yeah, let's
Anything
do
else?
it.
Anything
Nope,
else?
I think we're good.
Anything
I'm sure,
else?
I'm sure this time.
All right. I gotta go, so don't play that.
Peace out, butterflies.
Which, please?
This is the EVP Podcast.